Halfway through already, and Defenders feels like it's just getting started. Can't wait to see how the hand gets taken down. Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing episodes 5, 6, and 7 of Defenders. And as the episodes have chucked along so far, we've finally got the team together at the Royal Dragon last episode. Now we have Take Shelter, Ashes to Ashes, and Fish in the Jailhouse. Fish in the Jailhouse.
Luke Cage. Jess Jones. The Devil of Hell's Kitchen. The Iron Fist.
So they all come from different walks of life. They all have different personalities and different power sets. But at the end of the day, if we want to defend New York against the Hand, we're going to need all of them. Now, all in all, it's not the best series I've ever seen, but it's far from the worst. If this is your first time here, click that subscribe button and enable alerts so that I can tell you about all my other crazy theories about storytelling. So far, they haven't even all talked about the fact that they know Claire. It felt a little more like a Daredevil series than a Defender series, and it definitely doesn't feel like the comics. But let's talk about how each episode goes individually, so we're going to throw this up there. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. I have to say, so far, there's been a lot of moments, but a lot of badass ones. Just to recap, we still really have a lot of questions about how the Hand works, and the villain is just superb, and Elektra is able to fight Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, along with being able to fight Daredevil. That means she's strong, fast. In fact, she might be too tough for this team. In fact, she gets backup as we start with the first of these episodes. So let's get right into this. This scene is literally what I've been waiting for since episode 1. The big fight sequence in the restaurant. And you know what? The first thing I have to say is that it's missing a whole bunch of characters. I'm a little upset by now, because I was hoping that some of the supporting cast members would be here by now, too. Although I was happy with Jessica's big entrance last week. Well, last episode. Oh wow, it's so confusing with Netflix. But being that it's still Stick and still Daredevil in the Hand, feels still more like Daredevil like I said before. Stick, though, said the most ridiculous thing. If we all work together, we might get out of here alive. Yeah, have you considered actually the fact that you can't work together because you don't know how each other think? This isn't... Teamwork doesn't just come out of nowhere. You need to practice together. You have to know each other. The comic books built up years of these people working in and around each other. They've just met most of them this time. Luckily, the writers realize that too, or at least the choreographers, because Luke gets hit by a car, Daredevil runs off on his own trying to rescue Elektra, Iron Fist almost gets himself caught, and then Jessica comes in to save him, and I love the fact that she just, full force punches Gao. She just comes in, and there's this little old lady that she's never met before, and she's just like, little old lady, kapow! But then again, Madame Gao is also the one that broke through her little barricade. The whole second half of the episode really worked on the duality of where the good guys are and where the bad guys are, where the Hand and the Defenders are. Because the Defenders are falling apart. They don't know who to trust, they don't know if they can trust each other, they don't know how to work together, but the Hand is just as bad off. Just look at the fact that that one guy, whose name I can't pronounce, said, well, if we're down to 4 fingers, maybe we could be down to 3. And the entire concept of, hey, some of us want to live forever, some of us at least want to live long enough to go home again. And the idea that the bad guys are homesick, I mean, really, really pushes one of those things that they said in the preview that I haven't seen yet in an episode. Sigourney Weaver says the trick to a war is both sides have to think they're the good guy. But all in all, this episode was interesting and had some nice kinetic moments in it, and even little character moments like Misty giving Colleen Wing back her sword that make me just feel like things are finally coming together. But I'm also kind of starting to feel like we're going to need a Season 2 Defenders just to get the main story I was hoping to get out of Defenders. Because here we are at the end of episode 5, and I'm sitting here and wondering, when do they actually try to stop the Hand? Okay, well, that's enough for this episode. Let's move on to episode 6, Ashes to Ashes. And Alexandra has a record player she's listening to, and the record's degraded enough that it's skipping, because old things wear out. Wait, did you miss the symbolism there? Old things wear out. But that's okay, because then we move into superhero team-up cliche number 101. What happens when heroes are together? They have to have an excuse to fight to show who's the better badass. So, we have the fact that the Hand accidentally let slip that they want Danny, way back in episode 3. And now they're just figuring out, hey, he might be a key to something. So if we keep him on lockdown, and yeah, at first there was that whole, oh, maybe they mean to kill him, that of course we, the audience, didn't fall for, but you could see on his face. Good face acting, by the way. But then at the same time, it's like, come on. It's tic-tac-toe. The only way to win is not to play. Thermonuclear war. I can't be the only one who's sick and tired of hero versus hero shenanigans. And we already had some in this season. There was no reason for this other than to pad. I mean, at this point, we should be seeing the Defenders working together to come and stop them. And I mean, hell, if we knew any better, Elektra isn't even with the Hand right now. She's sleeping in Matt's bed. Alright, slight aside. Could you imagine coming home and finding your ex-girlfriend had broken into your apartment and was sleeping in your bed? Now, take out the she died, take out the resurrection, take out the she's a super killer assassin. Just any ex-girlfriend would be super creepy. How much creepier is it when you have all that other stuff going? So yeah, we should be watching these four team up at this point, but of course, we're kind of like just extending this for no apparent reason. We have our villains in place, but now our heroes have fallen apart, because that's the way they write drama. Because we have to have Captain America Civil War and Batman v Superman. I will say they do their pairings well, though. Stick and Luke Cage were funny together, and if anyone should get told he has white privilege, it's the guy hiding the bodies. But Luke and Iron Fist go well together, and of course they do. But I never realized how much I really wanted Daredevil Jessica Jones crossover. Like, seriously, Season 3, 2, just put the two of them together. An investigator that works with a lawyer just makes sense. The snarky, I don't believe in anything, with the good Catholic. I mean, those two are just made to play off each other. I've been working under the assumption that a Luke Cage Iron Fist team-up series was the way to go, especially with the fact that the way these things drone on, sometimes that would just be better. But no. The real ticket is Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock. Have a trial. Have the trial need to do some private investigating. Have the two of them work together on the books regular. Have Daredevil go out at night and stop some random crimes until he finds out that there's something big going on, and then be like, hey, Jessica, I need your help after hours. And the best part is, it's a male-female teaming that has no romantic chemistry, just lots of chemistry. Now, I wanted to spend this whole time talking about how Danny Rand was being unrealistic, and that they weren't going to try to kill him, but then Stick had to be the biggest asshole he's ever been, and that's saying a lot. I can't believe that there was a scene where all the Defenders are fighting against Elektra, and Elektra was the one who was saving Iron Fist from Stick, because Stick was the real villain, and her stabbing him definitely felt like it was well-deserved. However, then there was a second stabbing at the end. I know I already had spoiler alerts up, but this is a big one. This is where everything changes, and I did not see it coming. Although I should have, considering how the comic books turned out. But damn! Elektra stabs Sigourney Weaver's character of Alexandra right in front of the other four members of the Hand. His name is Matthew, and my name is Elektra. Y'all work for me now. Any questions? I would say that's a game changer, but that might be an underselling of what just happened. I'm sitting here going, huh? What? What? But okay. With that, we're going to move into the second to last episode. Fish in a Jailhouse. And we pick up pretty much exactly where the last episode left off. And once again, Daredevil steals the show. Him realizing this is my life might be the most important part of the entire series. I can't believe that there was so much of just him in so few scenes that just make it just stand out so much. Now, of course, they get back to the police station, and we have to count our lucky stars that his secret identity hasn't been revealed yet, because, well, like every other comic book movie, it's pretty loose right now. With Alexandra gone and Elektra now in charge, we also have a new dynamic with the Hand, and it's interesting. But I have to say the most interesting was the fact that the police are like, hey, we're the police, we understand what's going on, and we can do this better than you. And I felt like saying, I'm sorry, you're local PD. You're not really better equipped to handle this than a vigilante or a superhero, because realistically, you're just local PD. At least call in FBI, Homeland Security, SHIELD, whatever. Or, maybe when people say, hey, this organization is super powerful, maybe you should remember the fact that in your world, super powerful has an entirely different meaning. The Chitauri invaded. The Hulk has rampaged. I mean, at this point, is there anything that's unbelievable? I do wish Misty was more in the loop, but I also wish that Colleen was more in the loop. I think the two of them really have a moment where they could have shined here, and I was a little disappointed. The sword being given back to her by Misty made me think Misty might have actually had an idea what was going on. I think at some point I'm going to have to do a video on what's the difference between a hero and a vigilante. But then we move into all the Elektra stuff as well. And you know what? It's pretty cool. I like the way she talks to Iron Fist. I like the way she deals with things. I also like the fact that Foggy brought Daredevil's costume to Matt. Of course, all of this leads up to, in the last, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes, everything goes to hell, and that's gotta be leading into the final episode. Overall, with one episode to go, this series has had some really great moments, some moments that have kind of gotten under my skin, and some, okay, I guess moments. But you know what? For the culmination of 5 seasons of TV show into a 6th, it was pretty good. I could have gone with a little more of this, a little more of that. But you know what? We got a good send-off for Stick. We got a good assembly of the characters. And with about an hour's worth of this show to go, I can honestly say I liked it. I will be back not too long from now, definitely by Monday afternoon, the latest, when I watch the final episode. But for now, it's 2 a.m. here, and I think that I've binged enough for one night. So, I just have a couple last-minute things to ask you to do. Like and share this video, and of course, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and enable alerts so that you can see all my videos. Because I take a look at all the superhero shows, a bunch of the genre fiction, along with reading comic books and novels, and in general, just giving storytelling opinions of the hows and the whys. Every Sunday I do a theory video. Right now on Thursdays I'm doing Throwback Thursdays to older stories. And of course, as these come out, I will do reviews, along with movie reviews. Punisher's up next, but first I have one episode to go. Let me know in the comments what you think, and for now, thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.